nigga said, like,
Too turned up.
quarterback and quick pad. This boys are tossing G's, going through my wristband. I'm Shador the P, music hit like good crack. Ain't no snorting me, a nigga stole, got my leg back by doing more with me. Ain't never been robbed, nigga tried, ran a 4-3. Done with the slick talk, used to pull up half lean. I'm from the fame, but the smokers can't.
All right, man. What's going on, everybody? How we doing? Let me get a couple things out the way, man. Let's go ahead and get to it. Oh, man. That was crazy yesterday, man. Crazy work, man. A lot of narratives got exposed. A lot of different things happened that we saw. Y'all get in here, man. Y'all get in here. We're going to go ahead and review yesterday, man. And we'll talk about a couple things. Preseason game is Saturday. Let's pop this up here real quick. Bam. Let's see what's going on. Starting lineups. It's for the preseason game, man. So as we go through here, right? Let's go through here. Starting lineup. We got Jerry Jeudy, still starting. Spencer Fano, left tackle. Left guard, Zion Johnson. Center, Elton Jenkins. Right guard, Tevin Jenkins. Right tackle, Titus Howard. Other wide receiver there, got Denzel Boston. Look at this, Deshaun Watson or Shador Sanders. They still haven't figured it out yet. Good morning, Lady PC. How you doing? Shouts out to you. I appreciate you being up in here. Good morning. Let's get to it. A lot has been said about this quarterback decision as far as the preseason and who's going to be the first guy. Does that a telltale is who they want to be the starter? No, I don't think it is, but we'll see what's going on. Juan Sosa Gaming, what's happening, family? How you doing? Big shout out to you. Good morning. So they still haven't made a decision as far as who is going to be the quarterback yet. That's still up in the air. You see, it clearly says Deshaun Watson or Shador Sanders. We already know, Quinshawn, KC, and Harold Fannin. Now, the wide receiver room. We need to talk about that real quick. The wide receiver room is obvious that there's been some changes made. Jerry Jeudy, he can be at the top of this list all you want to. Denzel Boston is the X wide receiver. Denzel Boston is your number one wide receiver. Now, on the opposite side, you will have Jerry Jeudy, and then working out of the slot, we've been seeing KC Concepcion. KC Concepcion out of the slot, and you add in Bond as well, it's going to get lethal. Ced Tillman has also quietly had himself a good camp. Ced Tillman has looked sharp. He stayed injury-free. So, I mean, the offense, you got a lot of playmakers out there now. As far as last year, where you were lacking on that end as far as playmakers at the skill positions, now I feel like you definitely have a lot more availability, a lot more options to be able to hit and tap in there as far as on the offensive side of the ball. When we look at the running backs, right, Quinshawn Jenkins, one thing I will say is I'm seeing a different level of burst out of Sanders and Sampson. So Rocket Sanders has been killing it. I like the burst that I'm seeing out of Rocket Sanders. He's quietly having himself a good camp as well, too. Dylan Sampson is looking sharp, and I'm curious to see what they can do with him out of the backfield and the receiving options as well. We know this guy has a lot of speed. He has a lot of burst, and we've been seeing that in camp as well. This guy's been looking explosive. Quinshawn, you already know he's that guy. He didn't put Mike Hall on his you-know-what and sat him down for a couple of days in camp after Mike Hall was looking ridiculous. So, shouts out to them boys. I feel like they've been balling. We're going to go ahead and get into the stuff that, everybody wants to talk about. Everybody wants to get into it and start discussing these quarterbacks and what's moving forward. What's going on, everybody? The Mom Map 23, good morning. How are you? Phaedra James, good morning. How you doing? Appreciate you listening at work, man. Shouts out to you. That's love. I hope you have a productive day. Hope your day goes smooth. Renil Morton, good morning, sir. Did you see we signed Dequan Wright, the tight end from Ole Miss? No, I didn't see that. But that's another receiving option. If we did sign him, that's another receiving option. And they have quietly a nice tight end room. You look at Harold Fannin. Let's get back in here. I'm going to show you guys this real quick. You look at Harold Fannin, right? And then you look back behind him, you got Blake Whiteheart, Jack Stoll. And Jack Stoll is someone that's had a good camp. Jack Stoll is someone that's had a good camp. Blake Whiteheart's had a good camp as well, too. But they quietly have a good room there. Now, you add another addition. If he can make the roster, I feel like that's great. Let's go ahead and take a look at this defense, too. You already know what's going on. Jared Verse, okay? We got Malik Collins out here. Mason Graham. Alex Wright at the other end. You know, you got Carson Schlesinger. You got Quincy Williams. Now, this third linebacker position right here. Easton Arnold. I like this guy. We got to see what he's going to do, though. He's a big question mark as far as the linebacker room right now. Hopefully, this guy can show up and play dividends. Let's take a look at these DBs. Let's take a look at the DBs here as well. When we look at the DB room, I feel like the DB room is light. I feel like the DB room is light. And we also saw a DB number 37 go down yesterday as well when I was at camp. And he had to be carted off, so it did not look good, man. Prayers out to that young man. Hopefully, he can get back on the field. Have a smooth recovery and be able to get back this season. It did not look good, though, from the optics. They did have to cart him off of the field. He did not get off on his own, volition. He had to be helped off of the field. We look at Tyson Campbell, Denzel Ward, right? Look at the guy who has made his way up in here right behind Denzel Ward. Ross. What did I tell you guys about Ross? I've been telling you ever since I saw this guy last year against the Bengals and the work he did against T. Higgins and Jamar Chase at the end of the season, and I believe that was the last game of the season. I've been telling people that Ross quietly has been having himself a great camp. And this guy is someone that not only is looking to make the roster, this guy is looking to play now. I'm thinking that nickel corner, that third corner position, you got to get Ross in there. I like Miles Harden. But I have not seen the same level of production out of Miles Harden that I've seen from Ross. Right now, D'Angelo Ross, he's got to be that number 3 option, and I feel like this guy has really earned himself a role right here, man. We look at the safeties, right? Right now, still standing with the same regime, man. The incumbent stand. So we got Ronnie Hickman and Grant Delpit. Right on their heels is Edmonds, and I believe that's number 41. And then you also got Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, right? Emmanuel McNeil-Warren has been making some plays as well. So both of these safeties, man, they got some competition right behind them. Let either one of these guys falter a little bit, start to slip a little bit, look any type of way, and you might see some reps get changed, man. All right, man, let's go ahead and get back in here. We got some other things to look at today. We talked about the quarterback competition. We talked about how these guys were looking. And what I'll tell you yesterday, once again, it was more of the same, right? It was absolutely more of the same. So Deshaun Watson yesterday, it was his day to get out there. It was his day to get some of those reps, the first team reps. And the very first pass of 11-on-11 we saw from Deshaun Watson was an interception. He overshot something in it. It was kind of like a deep over route, probably in the 12 to 15 yard radius, coming across the middle of the field, approaching probably like the hash mark. And Deshaun Watson just clearly overshot the pass. I mean, I don't know what it was. It looked like he had an open option, looked like he knew where he was going, just airmailed it. And the ball sailed, and it's an interception. Now, that's the first play of 11-on-11. Take that for what you want. First play is an interception. Now, did Deshaun Watson have some good throws throughout the rest of the practice? Yes, he did. He had a nice deep ball connection. He also found another couple of targets across the middle. But then there were some throws that it just wasn't all that great. I would say Deshaun Watson had himself probably like a C day. It wasn't horrendous, but it by far was not the same level of production that the Cleveland media is trying to tell you or make it seem like it was. This guy is not just running away with anything. And, honestly, when you think about competitions and you look at how things normally go as far as just being a football player or being a part of a football team, if there's a competition and it's between even let's just look at a high school level. You have a senior and you have a sophomore battling it out for something. If that sophomore is just as good as the senior, that best believe that sophomore is going to play. Best believe you're going with the younger guy. You know why? Because you're going to have more time with him. You're going to be able to probably enhance that skill set. He has more potential to get better. So when we look at the quarterback competition right now, I saw Shedeur Sanders looking the same as we've seen him this whole camp. Solid. And when people say solid, I almost think that, there's a level of not acknowledging what solid is. Solid quarterback play is what just won the Seahawks a Super Bowl. Solid quarterback play is what you need. Solid quarterback play is what we've been begging for in Cleveland. So when we talk about solid, that's no slight. That's no judgment as far as in a negative way on Shedeur Sanders. Have we seen all the things that we've seen in Colorado? The accuracy, yes. The being able to push the ball down the field, yes, we've seen that. But what I'm telling you when I say solid is all of the things that the Cleveland media or people have asked of Shedeur Sanders, being able to play on time, on schedule, step up in the pocket, not retreat in the pocket. All of these issues that people made and blabbered about and for the last 6 months we've talked and raged about. Now you're seeing Shedeur Sanders do all of these things cleanly. You're seeing him operate. In the past couple weeks, we've heard about pre-snap operation, whether he's able to get in and out of the huddle, relay the message to the rest of the troops and then get out and execute. Now, what I saw at camp, I didn't see any issues with that. Now, what we do understand is that Coach Monken's offense may be pretty extreme as far as they use about 11 to 13 different snap counts. When you think about that, that's a lot. That's a lot when you take into account. Now we're trying to come out, we're trying to read the defense, look at the corner, analyze the coverage, be able to identify the mic. Let's go ahead and slide the protection, right? Make sure our running back is in the right spot. If we need to bump him over to engage in protection on the right side, we need to do all of these different things, and this is pre-snap. Shedeur Sanders has been handling all of this well. I haven't seen anything that's told me he just can't handle it. So when they talk about, not being able to get out of the huddle, delay games, all this other stuff, both quarterbacks have had scenarios where that's happened, and I think that's just natural, especially when learning a brand new scheme. Now, it shouldn't be as natural for Deshaun Watson being a 10-year veteran. It should be a little bit more easy for him to pick up these things, which naturally people would want to grasp onto. But Shedeur Sanders, by no means, when I'm out there and I'm looking, has showed any level of not being able to be competent in getting in and out of the huddle. I've seen him working and doing his thing, man. Shouts out to you guys. JB Too Smooth, I see you up in here. The Mom Map 23, we need more corners. Yeah, we definitely do. We definitely do. Trust 52. Trust. He said, thank you for keeping it 100, fam. Oh, I got to, man. I appreciate you being up in here, man. Thank you for engaging in the comments. R Jizzle, what's going on? I don't know why I ain't getting no notifications. Oh, man, yeah, we're going to get that together, R Jizzle, man. Hopefully you get some notifications, man. But shouts out, man. I see you up in here. So, once again, when I talk about solid, all of those things that Shedeur Sanders has been, talked about not being able to do, the pre-snap things, the playing on time, on schedule, you're seeing him do that. As far as holding the ball forever, we're not seeing that. We're seeing him either get the ball and if there's nothing down the field, potentially roll right, roll left. If there's nothing there, throw the ball out of bounds. We're not seeing a bunch of, trying to force the ball into positions where it might be too risky. We're not seeing that. And also out of Deshaun Watson, I would say in the past couple of days, we're seeing less risk-taking from him as well, outside of that very first play where I don't know where the hell he was throwing it. It was just an obvious airmail. But Deshaun Watson has not looked absolutely garbage. So all in totality, what I'll tell you is Shedeur Sanders, once again, in my opinion, has outplayed Deshaun Watson. He has absolutely outplayed Deshaun Watson. JB Too Smooth just hit us with a super chat, man. I appreciate that, man. Shouts out to you, JB. Appreciate that. Salute, fam. Deshaun Watson been making some throws, but a lot of these throws are for highlights because what I'm seeing in these clips from Deshaun Watson are a lot of bad habits, but I see sacks being a problem. Okay, let me talk about that. Let me talk about this point right here. And big shout out to JB Too Smooth, man. I appreciate you being up in here, man. Thank you for that super chat. It means a lot, brother. What I'll say to that point is, yeah, on all of the clips, you'll see the deep balls and all of those things, yes. But a lot of these scenarios where those deep balls and things are happening, it would have been sacked. So in camp, when we're looking at the practice scenario, the D-line is getting home, but they're really not touching the quarterbacks. They're getting in the area and getting out of the way, right? So when you see these guys roll and they're patting the ball and they slide left and then they're rolling out and they're throwing, a lot of these scenarios possibly could have been sacks. Let's just keep it a stack, and that's with Shedeur as well. But when we talk about Deshaun Watson, the clips that you're not seeing is the things that we talk about as far as across the middle of the field. I tell you, these are the areas that I see him struggling in because it seems like when the windows get a little bit of cloudy, there's more bodies in the area, it gets confusing for him. Seems like he just kind of throws it up there, and it 9 times out of 10 is batted down, tipped in the air, picked off. What we're not seeing from Shedeur Sanders is some of those same issues as far as throwing it into those windows, throwing it into those areas where, you know, we potentially shouldn't be throwing the ball here. When we talk about the highlight reel throws, I feel like I told this to people before. Shedeur's camp has not been sexy. It has not been one of those glitz and glamour camps. So all of the things that we see and we know he can do, from the deep balls to Isaiah Bond, throwing it, you know, cross body, different platform, we know Shedeur can do this. And if you've watched Shedeur Sanders, you know he has that in his arsenal. He has that in his tool bag. But I feel like what he's really honed in on, and if you've heard him talk, he said it in an interview not too long ago, but what he's really honing in on, and I feel like he said it when he was talking to Bernie Kosar, was he said he's really focusing on playing on schedule. If it's a 5-step drop, whether it's a quick drop, a deeper drop, he needs to hit that back foot. He likes to be able to hit that back foot at this point, and what he's been focusing on, and you can tell by his work at practice, is being on schedule. When he hits that back foot, he wants to be able to 1-2 get it out of there. And it's everything smooth and in stride. And what you've been seeing him do is actually maneuver smoothly and actually make decisions well. So he's not faltering. He's not hesitating as much as we've seen in prior times. And I feel like that comes with the knowledge of the offense. Once you feel like you're dialing it up more, he actually has more command of the offense, of the huddle. He has more connection with his wide receivers. All of these different factors that play in with the quarterback being more comfortable. The guy is showing that he's more comfortable, he's developing, and he's kicking some of those habits or some of those things that people said he couldn't do right out of the window, man. Shouts out Big Kev. What's going on, family? How you doing? I see you up in here. All right. So, let's keep it moving. One thing I want to show you guys is a couple of these throws, man. So, this goes back to, you know, what we were talking about. Shouts out JB. The deep balls, and what you'll see in the clips. All of these things here. This is a nice ball. This is a nice ball, man. Art Jizzle, he's working on moving the chains and taking what the D gives him. Absolutely. That's exactly what I'm talking about, Art Jizzle. And those are the things that everybody said he couldn't do. Everybody said he wasn't willing to do those things or to add that to his game, or he wasn't able to do so. And I feel like we're seeing that he is more than capable of doing that. That's a great pass right there from Deshaun Watson. Terrible coverage, by the way, though. That was like, okay, can we go back? How open can you be? My goodness. And this looks like this is a one-on-one. And, okay, if you let Cedric Tillman beat you by 10 yards, I got to question the coverage. I have to. If Ced Tillman is beating you by 10 yards, I have to question the coverage. Great route by Ced, and I told you he's had a great camp. This is no slight to him. But 38, I see why you're wearing number 38. Why do we have a bubble hat on that corner? Like, you really coming down and bringing the noise, bro. Stop it. Hey, let me chill, man. Shouts out to him, man. Shouts out to 38, man. But that's crazy. Ced Tillman being that open on the fade is insanity. I cannot lie to you. Appreciate you guys giving us some exclusive content from the training camp. Oh, man, I appreciate you being up in here. Thank you. You know we got to give you guys some unbiased stuff, man. Now, this is kind of what we're talking about. On time, on schedule, hit the back foot. As you can see, this is like right out the back foot of the drop. This looks like quick game, 3-step drop. You know, this probably is like a 2-minute scenario, hitting the out route. It looks like a levels concept. You got 2 out routes, a deep out and a speed out. So when we talk about taking what the defense gives them, this is the perfect opportunity right here. You know, a lot of times, think about the Ravens game last year where you saw Shedeur try and push it to the end zone when potentially there was a first down available on the outside, things of that nature. These are the type of plays or the type of decision-making factors that are coming in now. This is where you start talking about developing. This is where you start talking about a young quarterback taking steps forward that you have asked him to, and quite frankly, that people have really put too much heat on. But the guy is really taking it personally and added to his arsenal, and added to his tool bag. Now, one thing I do want to say is I still want to see him push the rock. I still want to see you push the rock. Don't get me wrong. But like I said, this camp has not been a sexy camp for Shedeur Sanders. This has been a get-to-work camp for Shedeur Sanders. This has been more of a, development tool bag type of camp. And I don't think people that aren't football people can really understand that, because when they come to camp, they're looking for, you know, these type of plays. Somebody running wide open, which is a great play, and I was there for this. I saw this. This was a great pass, great play by Bond and Watson here. But what they're looking for is these type of plays, when in all actuality, some of these other throws wins you the game. This is a great play, and we need to see you be able to hit this. If there's a guy this wide open, you absolutely better be able to hit that. Shouts out to Deshaun Watson for doing so. But what we're talking about as far as taking what the defense gives you, we need to be able to work in all of these short intermediate ranges. We need to be able to identify the coverages and know that, okay, we might have a deep shot here, but it's better for us to take this sideline option. It's better for us to take this intermediate route, you know, to go ahead and move the chains, rather than taking the risk of potentially killing a drive if it doesn't work out. All of those different factors come into play when you start talking about quarterback development, and I feel like this right here is what we've been seeing, man. This young man right here out of the slot is going to be lethal. KC Concepcion, shout out to him, and Bond out of the slot. Imagine when you go 4 wide. Okay, you have Jerry Jeudy and Denzel Boston on the outside, right? And then you have Bond, Concepcion, Dylan Sampson out of the backfield. Boy, you're putting linebackers in trouble. They better have a crazy nickel package. And if they do, and they try and get out to that, all you have is Quinshon Judkins in the backfield. Don't forget about Harold Fannin out there as well. I mean, goodness, you could potentially put defenses in a bind with these guys. Look at this. This is, once again, we're talking about off the back foot plant, out of the drop, on time, in schedule. This is what we're talking about. This isn't sexy. This isn't the deep ball. This isn't what people want to see. This isn't what they're clamoring for. But this is what absolutely a solid quarterback needs to have in his bag. These are the things we're asking out of Shedeur Sanders. And these are the things that we've been seeing out of camp. Maybe I'm just hating, but I feel like Watson's success is smoke and mirrors. Things to doing are more realistic in actual game. Actually QB work. I mean, I feel like that's accurate. I don't feel like there's anything wrong with what you're saying, JB Too Smooth. And I appreciate you once again, smacking us with a super chat, man. Shouts out to JB Too Smooth, man. Really tapped in today. I appreciate that, brother. For real. Thank you. So I don't think you're hating at all. And I think we talked about that. I think Deshaun Watson is hitting some of those passes that you can put on a reel. Passes that you can put on a clip. Things like that. Every pass that we've seen that they got on here is stuff like this out of one-on-ones and 7-on-7. I mean, can we follow the themes? And once again, we got our boy 38 on coverage, man. Come on, 38. Hey, 38. And then this is the one-on-one period. Yeah, so I was out here for this. This is crazy. Now, you have to think, though, you had no Denzel Ward out here for this practice. I think Denzel was out Veteran Day. Bond and Tillman were teammates at Texas, but it looks like Bond will be here, and maybe Tillman goes to the practice squad or gets traded. I don't know. It's gonna be funny outside of those 4 receivers we named to see who is the rest of the cast of receivers that we're gonna have, because there's a lot of guys who've been catching a lot of passes. There's Floria, you got Gage Larvidan. I know we just waived Thrash, and I believe that was an injury designation. So, I mean, it is going to be crazy to see who makes this 53. We're going to have to see what shakes out and what happens, man. This is, I believe this is that interception from the first play of 11 on 11. Crazy. Watson to Watson. Wild work. Hey, once again, shout out JB Too Smooth, man. I appreciate you. Talking again about the quarterbacks, man. I think Deshaun Watson has not played horrible, right? But he's not looked better than Shedeur Sanders. And when we're talking about a quarterback competition, you have to outplay one or the other. Whoever has been playing the best has to be in here. It's crazy they cut the clip and didn't want to show who threw the pick, though. I'm pretty sick on that. Hey, That's that bond pass again. That's a great one. Tillman been quietly putting together a nice camp. He's been with the third team. Like I said, and you're right about that. Shouts out to you, R. Jizzle. He has put together a nice camp. And one thing about Tillman is he just has to stay healthy, right? Said has just always been hurt. We've seen Said put together some things when he's not hurt. So they'll probably either keep 5 or 6 wide. Yeah, they have to keep. I would assume 6. I would assume 6. I don't know how that's going to affect the rest of the roster, but I would assume 6. If they only keep 5, boy, you losing a play. Somebody's getting picked up. Somebody might get picked. Even Said will get picked up. If you put Said on practice squad, he's getting picked up by somebody. I believe so. All right, let's dive into the first thing today. We didn't, kind of talk a little bit. Let's see what's going on though.
Gotta get into the quarterbacks. Phil, I want to ask you first, how much do you look into what a quarterback does in a preseason game versus the videos you're seeing coming out on Twitter from practice?
Preseason game, that's when the bullets are flying. Practice is more scripted. The defense is gonna, let some things go. You know what I mean? And practice, really, the offensive coaches, like, they get mad when defense get interceptions. So it's like, kind of let the offense win. But this is where you get to see things in the preseason. So when you're looking at a QB in the preseason, you're going to see what you're going to get in the season, most likely. You know what I mean? And that's if it's good on good, ones on ones. You know what I mean? You really can't tell if, a QB is going against the third string and guys that are on the bubble. You never know.
So obviously the big elephant in Cleveland roar is the quarterback conversation. How, as a player, what do you want, or not even as a player, coach, whatever, fan, what are you looking
Phil.
for Shedeur? Right, you, all of the above. What are you looking for Shedeur? Like, if he wants to win this job, how do you win it in these preseason games?
Doing his job, controlling what he can control, not trying to do too much.
So I have to, quick side note, what have we been talking about? Being solid, doing all of those things. Out of your 3-step drops, out of your 5-step drops, making sure you're hitting that back foot and getting to where you need to go. If the option is there, it's there. If it's not there, take what the defense is giving you. Let's move the chains, or if it's a bad play altogether, let's get the rock out of bounds, kill the play, and let's move on to the next down. These are the things you want to see, especially out of a young quarterback. A young quarterback that has the potential for the big play. We know he's a big play maker. All the other questions has been what he's been working on and showing this whole camp. Shouts out to him.
And just being him. You don't go out there, trying to do everything everybody else can do. Be you, do what you can do, control what you can control, and make the play when it's necessary.
Yeah, I'm with you. I also think, like we've harped on a couple times, Todd Monken wants the professional at the line of scrimmage, wants to take care of the ball, let the run game help him. Like, don't always have to play hero ball, right? And I feel like when the bullets are flying, when it's live, when they're, again, people literally trying to sack you, it is a really, really good watch to see how you operate under that. Like, if you consistently are getting pressured, are you trying to make throws that you don't normally make? Like, that's a good thing to watch as well.
Yep.
Phil, I wanted to ask you about when you were playing as well when it comes to the preseason. Is there a difference in how you approach a preseason game versus a regular season game? Because, there is the element of, okay, hey, maybe this guy's right behind me. Do I want this guy to get it? Obviously you want your team to do well, but, okay, this guy who's running with the second team right now who might be coming for my job, he just got a sack, or, I just did this. How is this guy going to respond? What is it like being in a game where your teammates doing well can hurt you in a way? Because I feel like it doesn't happen in a real game as much.
Maybe I didn't look at it like that. When
As a football player, you ain't looking at it like that, man. You looking at it, I got to get out here and make my plays. I get out here and do my thing, man. So I can't worry about what he doing. If he make his plays and he's out playing me, that's just what it is. But I have to worry about me and what I'm doing. So shouts out to Phil, man, keeping it a stack.
Not a selfish guy.
When I was playing and, I had guys that were drafted after me, Billy Wynn, John Hughes, Danny Shelton. Those guys out there, if I wasn't on the field and those guys were out there making plays, I'm excited for them. You know what I mean? We're a team at the end of the day. And, what goes on with me and, my playing time, or if I'm on my way out the door, that's me. You know what I mean? I got to control what I can control. I can't be a bad apple and taint everybody else, or, have any type of disrespect towards somebody because they're, making plays.
For you guys on the Browns, this is open up the floor to everyone. This is not just Phil. Everyone's got this one. Yeah. Guys, who is the Cleveland Brown? We're going to go excluding quarterbacks because we could sit up here and talk about the quarterbacks for a billion years until they finally name who the guy is. We've done them their justice. Mm-hmm. Who, excluding the quarterbacks, do you guys think has the most to gain, or are you guys just the most excited to watch this preseason?
Well, that's two different questions.
Then answer both. We got time.
Most excited to watch Rocket Sanders.
Yeah.
From what I've seen in practice, I'm with you. Like,
that's a great sleeper pick. Shouts out to this guy right here, man, because that's a great sleeper pick. I told you guys, and he's about to tell you guys, I believe as well, Rocket Sanders is showing a different level of burst this camp. This guy has been showing like he really wants to tote the rock. He shows like he can really be a valuable option as far as holding the ball. Does he have to play it out? Yeah, but I think we saw some things last year that showed us behind the 31st ranked offensive line that Rocket Sanders can ball. I believe with all the moves that have been made last week, that a thumb has been placed on the scale. In whose direction, Brian Johnson? Shouts out to you. In what direction has the scale been tipped, man? Let me know. I appreciate you being up in here as well, sir. Let's keep it cooking.
Like, I'm excited to watch him too, and I actually think he probably has more to prove. Mm-hmm. But Rocket Sanders has some juice. He's involved in the pass game. He does not go down on first contact. Like, to me, obviously Todd Monken's had so much success with Derrick Henry, but he's also had a lot of success with guys like Keaton Mitchell when he's healthy, Justice Hill, who are different players than Rocket Sanders, but he uses multiple running backs and has that committee approach for a lot of what he does. But I am really excited to see if Rocket Sanders can make the most of his opportunities, because I think he's going to get them.
It's funny you said Rocket, because it's almost weird how the Browns have two of the same similar styles.
Oh, we cooking now. Okay, we getting a little debate. Make it make sense. Haslam wants 4 to play. 4 to play. Get 4 ready to play. We can't rationalize this madness anymore. No matter what 2 does, he has to do more to win. Lady PC 67. I want you to pump the brakes. Right? We have to see Saturday. We have to see these preseason games. I get it, and I feel you. I understand where you're coming from, and I do get it. Trust me, I understand it. But what I will say is, pump the brakes a little bit. Let's let this preseason play out, and then let's see and judge then after things play out there. Let's let it rock out. Let's let it rock out first.
Like Q, Rocket, Dylan, and Amani Marshall. I am a huge Amani Marshall fan. I don't know what it is, but it's almost like the Carson Schlesinger effect. Like when I saw Carson, there was something that jumped out on the tape. Yep. When I watch Amani Marshall get the ball out of the backfield, he just has this bolt of speed that you can't teach that speed. He sees get hold and go to where he needs to go to. So that's going to be a good battle. I think who I'm most excited to see, though, I'm excited to see Emmanuel McNeil, bro. This dude, I think we finally got. You mentioned, I love me Grant Delpit. Obviously, I'm a big Grant Delpit guy. We've had TJ Wards of the world. We had Tayshaun Gibsons of the world. But, when you look across the AFC North and you got Troy Polamalu and you got Ed Reeds of the world, Emmanuel McNeil gives me that feel where we going to look up a few years from now and be like, he's one of them ones, how much money we giving him, give him it, and let's just get this done. So I'm excited to see what he going to do this preseason. And there's probably 4 other players, but Emmanuel's number 1.
Yeah, I like them.
I would say this year, probably Fannin. Fannin and Schlesinger. I feel like those 2, and a close third, will probably be Graham. And
Ivy League Mac. Shouts out to you. I see you up in here. Shouts out to R Jizzle too, and Brian Johnson. I see y'all too. I do not see the basis of this 4 will start talk. The coach has to get both your QB1 and QB2 ready, and number 4 has not been ready to play. Too inconsistent. Once again, I told you from my personal opinion, the days I've been at camp, he has not outplayed Shedeur Sanders. I mean, that's just what it is. So I can agree with you on that. Once again, I think we have to let it play out. JB Too Smooth says, I think the Browns got a good squad this year. Boston, KC, Bond, a solid lineup. they low key might be a sleeper pick. Honestly, I think people the 6-win talk is wild to me. 5-win talk is wild to me. That's crazy. And I know as Browns fans, we always get accused for, this is the year. Every year, this is our year. All that talk, right? 5 or 6 wins, though? 5 or 6 wins? We look at the roster, though? Hold on. I got you. Let's pull this up. Let's pull this up and look at it real quick. Once again, you got Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy. I don't know how I said that like that. Jerry Jeudy. Fano. Zion Johnson. Elton Jenkins. Tevin Jenkins. Titus Howard. Now, we talk about our Chex Mix offensive line, a completely revamped offensive line. It has to be better than 31st rank, in my opinion. And to me, the first offensive line has looked good. When you get to that second offensive line, that's where it gets sketchy, right? So you got plug and play guys, right? But that first team, that first offensive line is looking great. Okay? You move to Quinshawn, right? You have Quinshawn Judkins, Denzel Boston. You also have KC Concepcion. My bad. KC Concepcion, Harold Fannin, right? Dylan Sampson and Rocket Sanders. When we start talking about the Browns as far as on the offensive side, and we can go look at the defense as well, as far as the rosters, 5 wins. Where? 5 wins? 6 wins? Are you serious? We're really talking about 5 and 6 wins with this. Jared Verse, Malik Collins, and you got Mike Hall Jr. if he can stay healthy. And Malik can stay healthy, right? Mason Graham, Alex Wright, Carson Schlesinger, Quincy Williams. You got Tyson Campbell, Denzel Ward. Once again, with the DB room, we have to pray for some health as far as with the corners. But I like Miles Harden. I like Miles Harden a lot. And I like D'Angelo Ross even more. D'Angelo Ross, I like him even more. So to me, that's got to be your nickel corner right there. Then you got Ronnie Hickman, Grant Delpit, who you just paid a boatload of money. And you got EMW. And you got Edmonds, who's had himself a good camp. Edmonds has been around the football. Edmonds done got himself at least 3-4 picks this camp. When we talk about this roster, 5 wins? 5 wins? No, can't be. Let's keep moving, though. Let's keep moving. Let's see what these guys on the morning show were talking about. This is courtesy of 92.3 The Fan. And shouts out Phil Taylor, Chef Zay, and those guys on the last one, man. I appreciate those guys for that last video. Let's go ahead and dive into this, man. 92.3 The Fan. You got the Ken Carman show with Anthony Lima. Let's see how these guys were going. Courtesy of 92.3 The Fan.
I can't believe it. I need to thank you. I have ripped you and begged you to get off the internet and stop bothering with people who I either think are obsessed, are actually part of a cult, which are probably two of the same, or bots for that matter. And you stumbled on something that became a major talking point yesterday on The Fan.
Which I think could be explaining a lot of why Shador's throws, especially the highlights that you see, even the good ones, are getting ridiculed so much online about the wobblers and the ducks and all of those. And I think this could make sense. This coming from Boog 32, who we've had some playful interactions back and forth. He released a video, over the weekend, 4-minute video that I thought honestly was like, all right, stand-up guy. Seems like a stand-up guy. Anyway, he said that he got a blister on his finger on his throwing hand.
This is Shador.
That Shador got a blister on his finger on his throwing hand. Then went and talked about failing to acknowledge that a blister ain't stopping a thing. He's going out every day and still executing despite the blister.
So, we still got the trolls. Let's see how they play it out. But let me tap in with you guys real quick, man. Ivy League Mac. Let's see what you said, man. My biggest concern is the offensive line. They've been getting steamrolled by the D-line. Yep. But that's common in camp. If you have a good defensive line, that I believe we do. I believe we have a really good defensive line. If you have a really good defensive line, that's common in camp. I believe the first offensive line has been holding water. The first offensive line, they can hold their own. That second one, stinky. Shouts out to you, man. R. Jizzle, I got them battling Baltimore for the division. Listen, to me, I don't see how we're not in the division talks. You can say I'm being crazy for saying we could win the division or what have you. I don't see how, with the roster we have, we are not in talks. You look at Pittsburgh. They're running back a McCarthy and Rodgers 2015 mix. If you let that beat you, you stink. Honestly, that's crazy. You look at the Bengals. Joe Burrow can't stay healthy and quarterbacks don't get touched. I'm tired of the narratives with Joe Burrow too, man. He's good. Yes, I know he's good. But he can't stay healthy. Quarterbacks don't even get touched anymore. Stop holding on to the ball. You talk about Shedeur holding on to the ball. Maybe Joe Burrow need to get rid of the ball. Play on time and play in schedule. I don't know what they're doing in Cincinnati, man. I'm not very scared of Cincinnati. Yes, they got Jamar Chase. Yes, they have Higgins. Not scared of them, man. Honestly. Okay, then we slide over to Baltimore. Everybody loves Baltimore. Everybody loves Baltimore. They missed their window, man. Their window's gone. It's over with. Yes, are they probably the most difficult force in the division? Yeah. Absolutely, without a question. But I don't think it's the same Baltimore, man. Don't think it's the same Baltimore whatsoever. Yo, what's going on? That's funny. JB Too Smooth says, I got 8 or 9 wins. I think Deshaunson gonna start for 2 to 4. Have y'all at 2 or 2, maybe 1 and 4, put y'all behind the 8 ball some. But then when they put 2 out, I think he can double his win total from last year. I can see that happening. Honestly, man, I feel like they just gonna come out and name Shedeur the starter. I feel like it's coming. Once this preseason happens, the preseason has to be played, right? Do we not remember what happened last preseason? And they tried to shut him down immediately. Wouldn't even let him do his 2-minute. I don't know, man. Once they hear them fans clamor, you already see it at practice. Everybody clamors for Shedeur, man. I don't see how you gonna bring Watson to Cleveland, man, and try and roll him back out, man. I don't see it. I don't see how it's gonna happen, man. Brian Johnson, he said Monken said he had to get more reps to Watson because someone told him. He's the head coach. He should have known what's going on. I can give you that. Honestly, to me, like I told you guys before, it don't matter to me. It doesn't make me any never mind. Doesn't make me a difference. I want to see what's going on with these actual throws. I want to see what's going on with these actual preseason games. We play on Saturday, guys. We play on Saturday. That's when we'll start to see what's going on. I'm excited, man. I can't wait. Clark Virtual Museum, LLC. How you doing today? I appreciate you being up in here. Dylan is about to get traded. Yeah, well, everybody want to keep talking about Shedeur. No, but did you see? And I saw personally Taylon Green getting more reps as far as than Dylan Gabriel with the threes. Ivy League Mac. At Brian, that's not quite what he said. He said he wanted to keep the reps balanced, and Shedeur Sanders had significantly more. So when he was told about the imbalance, he gave 4 more reps. I like Ivy League Matt. Shouts out to Brian Johnson too, because both of you guys are accurate in what you're saying. I appreciate you guys. Watson had more reps with the ones than Shedeur Sanders. Honestly, I feel like the rep counting and all of that, man, with the quarterback tracker, the quarterback tracker gives you an accurate and inaccurate depiction. The quarterback tracker cannot be looked at without context. I don't feel like if you're not at practice, you can't look at the quarterback tracker to decipher what's going on, man. You're not getting a clear visual. There's absolutely no context with the quarterback tracker. Keep rolling here. Let's see what these guys have to talk about, and then we'll get to the next one.
So I think it's something that I don't think Shedeur's been asked about at camp or anything like that, or that Shedeur's not acknowledging, Shedeur's not using as an excuse or anything like that. So, which I think is good. Hey, things are going to happen. You're going to get calluses, blisters. You're going to get various finger injuries throughout a season. I mean, you got every year Josh Allen, by the end of the season, will.
Hey, shouts out to Brian Johnson. Well, I mean, especially when they gave Deshaun Watson credit for 7 touchdowns in a day when he was on the 2-yard line and 7-on-7 with absolutely no pads on or no D-line, no pass rush, no offensive line. You know, we're in T-shirts and helmets, and he's throwing 7-on-7 touchdowns, and they gave him 7 or 8 touchdowns. And they put that on the tracker. So I completely agree with you when you say you don't trust the tracker. That's why I tell you can't look at the tracker without the context. Cannot look at the tracker without context.
Show off his mangled digits and everything. And you're like, how do you even throw the football? So it's something I think a young quarterback has to learn how to play through. You know, I saw some people going after Shedeur, said, "Oh, here come the excuses already," and I'm like, "Well, no, he hasn't made any excuses."
Nobody asked Todd
about
Monken about this yesterday.
I don't think so.
Well, someone's going to need to ask Todd Monken about it today. So he's throwing with. So I'm just making this. I just want to clarify this. You have somebody who is close to Shedeur. Now, does this person speak for him at all, or is that?
Man, he a grown man. Don't nobody speak for me. Now stop the cat. See, this what I'm talking about. He's a grown behind man. Can't nobody else speak for that man but that man. Regardless whether they're in his camp, some of his homeboy, whether they have something to say to you as a media member because they feel like you're fooling, you're wilding. No, nobody speak for a grown man. Stop the cap, man.
Wondering too much. I don't know this person.
No, I wouldn't say speak for him. I mean,
I know. I saw the
fully
video.
Capable of speaking for himself.
Several people will send me the video he made to you.
Yeah.
But okay, I just want to make sure.
How many people have made a video calling out Lyman for BS? Man, stop the cap, dog. And I appreciate Lyman for actually saying no, he doesn't really speak for him. But no, listen, bro, you cannot say somebody speaks for. If I didn't say it, don't nobody speak for me. I'm a grown man. Somebody might articulate what they feel or their opinion on the situation that I'm involved in. But hell, I speak for myself, man. And don't come on here and put it like that. Oh, does he speak like he's a handler or something? Does he speak for Shedeur? Man, shut up with that, man. That's Cleveland media 101, just being bogus, bro.
He's in his camp.
Okay,
is that fair?
That's fine.
He's been in the off season. Yeah. He was out there helping film and collaborate with.
Hey, Ivy League, Matt, and Brian Johnson. Shouts out to both of you guys, and I want to tell you guys I appreciate you guys a lot for being up in here. This is how they try to start a negative narrative. Brian Johnson, yes. Absolutely, and this is why we call them out. Everybody wants to tell me to stop watching these guys, stop putting them on here. No, absolutely not, man. Listen. This is exactly what these guys do. Instead of talking about the throws yesterday, instead of talking about how Deshaun Watson, threw a pick, his first pass of 11-on-11 padded practice, instead of talking about how Shedeur Sanders is looking solid, decisive, competing, showing that he can maneuver in and out of the huddle, doing his pre-snap diligence, not having the delay of games, being able to get the play call in and effectively maneuver post-snap and make decisions and deliver the ball where it needs to go. Instead of talking about all of these different things, what do we talk about? This. Shouts out to JB2 Smooth. Even though none of this ish matters, but Watson real stats like 12 TDs and 9 interceptions and 7 TDs saved him for real. Yeah. And once again, that's 7 TDs from the goal line with T-shirts and helmets on and no defense for real. No pass rush, no any of that. Stop the cap, man. Ivy League Mac 92-3 is a raccoon and clown parade. That's crazy work. Shouts out to you, Lady PC. Brian, I think they're just trying to justify previous narratives. Yeah, nobody wants to be wrong, and they're fully aware that the Crow train is about to land. Why do you think there's this heavy push for them to not have Shedeur on? Why do you think there's this heavy push to give Deshaun Watson 10 games, to give Deshaun Watson 8 games, to give Deshaun Watson 6 games? Because the Crow is about to be fed upon. It's about to be feast time, and they're gonna have to eat this crock pot crow. Shovel up. Forget wrist up. We're shoveling up because you're about to eat this crow. Lady PC, appreciate you being up in here. Clark Virtual Museum LLC, the QB tracker, pencil whipping too, and he's still on top. That tells you all you need to know right there. Shouts out to everybody up in here, man. I appreciate you guys interacting. Let's keep it rocking. If you're up in here, smack the like button. It doesn't cost you a thing to hit the like or to interact and put a heart in here in the chat, man. Or to put whatever emoji you want to up in here. Shouts out to you, the viewer.
With him, and
Players have
various camps.
Yes, players, coaches, etc. have chiefs of staff and all the other things. I'm just making sure we're
when
accurate
he
here.
says something, the Shador fans don't look at him and go, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Like
He's clearly in the inner circle.
Yeah.
All right.
He knows stuff that we don't know.
That's what I'm trying to get to the bottom of. If he's in the inner circle.
We know what you don't know. You know why? Because you're not at camp. You're not watching. You guys were on the golf course. Shouts out to Ivy League Mac once again. Smoke, you said you didn't think Watson's arm is cooked, but he looks washed to me. I haven't seen consistent arm throws and pass from him. Okay, so this is what I'll tell you. What I mean by I don't think his arm is cooked is because Deshaun Watson can go out here, right, and throw the ball 75 yards. Guaranteed. He can throw the ball 75 yards. When he throws the ball, as far as how it looks, the release, that surgically repaired shoulder, it doesn't look like he's struggling to get the ball out. It doesn't look like it hurts. It doesn't look like he's wincing when he throws the ball. It doesn't look like he doesn't have the juice. But to what you're saying, the ball is not going every time where it needs to go. He's sailing past it still. So he is inconsistent. The accuracy is not all the way dialed up where it needs to be. But what I'll tell you as far as being cooked, what I mean by looking cooked, it doesn't look like there's pain in that shoulder. It doesn't look like there's fatigue in that shoulder. Remember Mary Kay was coming out and telling us that it looked like that shoulder might have a little bit of fatigue and all of those different things? No. The guy can throw the ball 100 miles an hour still. He looks like an NFL quarterback out there when he's throwing the ball, releasing it. It's just not consistent, and the accuracy is not going, and the decision-making is not what it needs to be right now. Shouts out to you, Ivy League Mac.
Well, if this man is one of the Sanders confidants, then doesn't this question need to be asked to Todd Monken? You have a player playing with injury. That makes a difference, does it not? I mean, Kenny Pickett got a hamstring injury and ended up being jettisoned.
Yeah.
So
do we call blisters injuries?
Dylan Gabriel got a concussion. We never heard of him again.
I'm being dead honest.
Why wouldn't it be
So, shouts out to 92.3 The Fan here. I don't think I can keep listening to this, man, because we're too close to football for all of the non-football talks, right? Talking about a blister on the finger, all of that stuff, man. The narratives, what the inner circle is saying. It's too late for the narrative talks. It's too late for this. We have football Saturday, man. We got Browns football Saturday. I don't think folks are understanding this. All of the talking points are out of the window, man. Anything you guys are talking about, irrelevant. You know what's relevant? These throws, these passes. Let's go ahead and dive into this real quick. Let's see. Moving forward, man. Moving forward. Let's keep it rocking, man. I appreciate everybody up in here. If you're in here, smack the like button. Appreciate you all. Everybody that's interacting in the chat, shout out to all of you.
Cleveland Browns. They have their own quarterback battle going on. This might be, it is, the most interesting quarterback battle in the NFL right now. We've heard a lot about Deshaun Watson as the veteran. Shador Sanders supposedly has improved recently. Each will be given the chance to shine during the preseason. I think with 2 road games in Florida, at Jacksonville, at Tampa, to open the season, it's possible that Deshaun might hold the lead early on. But really the question is, who's going to play more this season? And it wouldn't be a surprise if that turned out to be Shador.
Deshaun Watson possibly taking back the starting job in Cleveland. How do you respond to that?
Look, I think this needs to be as organic of a competition as you could possibly make it. Like, I am not someone who believes that anyone should have the lead. You should not come into this kind of quarterback competition as a staff with any preconceived notions, not trying to favor one over the other. Look, the Browns for so long have been searching for their franchise quarterback, right? I mean, obviously Deshaun Watson was someone who they...
Listen, this is a Cleveland media's problem, and this is the media's problem in general as far as addressing Cleveland. Stop making it all about the quarterback. Stop making it all about the quarterback. Okay? There's more decisions, there's more factors involved in than just the quarterback. Let's talk about the genetics of the team. Let's talk about the makeup of the team. Let's talk about whether the team is soft. Because in past years, I feel like we've been soft. I feel like we've been mentally soft. Let's talk about how the defense is going to come out and progress this year. Let's talk about how the front office is moving as far as with these drafts. Let's talk about all of these different things. Everybody wants to be stuck and focused on this quarterback, and that's where everybody gets messed up, because that's where you get to reaching and overdrafting, overdrawing on these guys, looking for anybody but Shedeur. No. Develop. Let's question the coaching staff. Nobody questioned the prior one until they got fired. Come on, man. Come on, man. This is where we get stuck. Everything is about the quarterback with Cleveland. I'm here to tell you, man, solid is what we need. Forget all this stuff these guys are talking about, man.
They thought was going to be their franchise quarterback until things got derailed for obvious reasons. Look, I think right now, with the new coaching staff, a new regime, they need to kind of just take this day by day and let the chips fall there where they may. Let the players play speak for itself. I don't care about what Deshaun Watson was on the field years ago. I don't care about the layoff. What I care about is production on the football field. And not looking forward to the 2027 draft and trying to put all your eggs in that basket and go, hey, look, we don't really need to really settle this situation out this year because we're going to address it next year. They've been trying to address it next year for years. Just play the best player and address 2027 when it comes up.
All right, so Harry, jump in here. If you're in Todd Monken's seat, the head coach, this is his first year on the job, first year as a head coach in the NFL. What would you be looking for between these two?
Well, number one, it's about who can go out there and win the job. And I think it's about that locker room. That's what you can't forget. Those guys in that locker room, Lewis, you've been in there. I've been in there. When you have a guy that's showing up every single day and everyone on that roster feels like this quarterback A should be the guy, but you choose quarterback B, then you slowly started to lose the locker room, and it becomes divided in that manner. So for Todd Monken, who's the first-year head coach, we have to remember, he's trying to win now. He's trying to make sure he's not a part of those first-year head coaches that loses their job going into year two. So he's going to play the best candidate as well. But I think it is like whoever goes out there and shows that they're the best fit for the job, for the team, that's the way you have to approach it if you're top.
It's also interesting to me that they used a higher draft pick on Dylan Gabriel, and he's not even mentioned.
Because that wasn't part of this regime. And obviously we know Dylan Gabriel was Kevin Stefanski's draft pick. That wasn't AB's pick. AB made his pick. AB wanted Shedeur. But you know what? They let Kevin rock out, and it was an indictment on Kevin in the rest of the season, and that's potentially one of the reasons why he got up out of here. A wasted third-round pick. So saying that he's not a factor in the quarterback competition right now is not some wise point. I don't know why we're making a face like this is a wise moment. It's not, bro. It's not.
As a candidate for the starting job. It's down to Deshaun Watson and Shedeur Sanders, according to Todd Monken. So Dylan Gabriel is not even in the picture. And if he's not in the picture, then wouldn't it make sense to move off him and try to get something back and make the quarterback room a little less crowded?
Yeah, I'm sure at some point in time, Andrew Barry, the GM, he'll consider doing that. But you know what? See, I like the fact that, look, I'm not rooting against Dylan Gabriel or for him. I don't care who winds up playing and winning this job. But I like the fact that, look, what happened in years past or what your draft status was doesn't mean anything to Todd Monken. Because as Harry's saying, look, I'm just trying to win football games. That's all I'm hired to do here. That's all I'm hired to do, and that's exactly how they should approach this. I mean, this situation gets a lot of attention simply because of Deshaun's past and who Shedeur Sanders is. This needs to just come down to a football discussion. Simple as that.
Last 5 years.
When you come down to a football discussion and we look at what's happened in camp, and I told you what I've seen being there, Shedeur Sanders has outplayed him. So if that's truly what it comes down to, then the decision will be made, and especially seeing in the preseason who performs in the preseason and who doesn't. Who shows up and who, doesn't show up, basically. And I feel like throw for throw, we'll be able to see Saturday. We'll be able to see in the next preseason game, and we'll be able to see in the last preseason game. And I feel like, honestly, at the end of the second preseason game, we'll know. All of the talks, all of the narratives, all of the agendas. Run away with them. Talk about them. Have it. Shouts out to you guys, man. Ivy League Mac, how is it an interesting QB battle when Watson has only had 3 good days out of 12? I would argue it's only been 2. You can't make it up. Yeah, for sure. It's not that interesting of a battle, but what I told you is Shedeur hasn't had the sexy camp, which is why they make it seem like it's closer than what it is. Brian Johnson said coaches always say that they want a consistency, and Shedeur has been a model of consistency. Watson has been the opposite. So what does it take if you take away the bogus 7 TDs? That would be different. I think we have to see it in live bullets. I think that's what coach is waiting on. I think that's what we're waiting on. Clark Virtual Museum. Deshaun's arm is bothering him. I noticed that sometimes he's rubbing it and nursing it after a throw. Okay, I haven't noticed that. If you've noticed that, that's a different detail that we can definitely take a look at. Now, if that arm is bothering him, that adds a whole different level of concern and questionability as far as when we go and look at who we want to play. We need to look at somebody durable. Why would we go into the season with somebody that's already having some arm irritation and things of that nature? So if that's a real thing, then that's a whole nother dimension of what we need to be looking at. Shouts out to Renil Morton. He says 8 to 10 wins. Lady PC, appreciate you being in here. Says it's kind of like QB is the only position that includes smoke and mirrors, so it's more interesting. Shout out to you.
Deshaun Watson has only appeared in 19 of a possible 85 games, which is 20.
All right, let's head to Atlanta, where there was
a possible 85 games is absolutely insane. That's absolutely insane. I cannot lie. 19 games out of a possible 85, that's ridiculous. So, right now when we talk about Deshaun Watson and the inconsistency, that could potentially be why you're seeing a lot of inconsistency, man. The guy hasn't played a lot of football. Anybody ever think about that? Watching these guys get that work in. Man, I think it's a different energy around these Browns, man. I'm excited for Saturday. Man, put a 1 in the chat if you're excited for Saturday and you're excited for the preseason. You're ready for these narratives to start to die and for actual, football conversations, analyzing the games, analyzing what's going on the field. Put a 1 in the chat if you're ready for that, man. And kids coming out. We were right out here to the left of this when they were out here going crazy. We were right out here to the left of this. And them kids was going crazy for Shedeur Sanders, man. Crazy for Shedeur Sanders. All right, man. Last one of the day. We got to tap in with these guys and just hear some of this so we can go ahead and dispel some of these narratives and agendas.
Todd Monken was on his show yesterday. Todd, how the hell are you going to play these quarterbacks on Saturday?
I anticipate each quarterback in the game they start will play a half, might play in the second half, just to get in a little bit of rhythm. You might have one drop.
Hey, I love that. We're going to play a whole half of football. You know why? Because I want to let you cook. I want to let you get in a rhythm. Not this 1 quarter, 2 quarter. I like that. I don't know why that just got me so hyped, but shouts out, man.
What are you going to do? Take them out? 2 drives, 3 drives. Love to get a 2-minute. If you take them out, they're never going to get a 2-minute, right? We got to find a way to manufacture a 2-minute if we can. I see that how much our offensive line will play against the Bears a little bit predicated on are they playing their starters? Because it's unfair to the quarterback that if they're playing their starting D-line and we sub out our O-line to really get a picture. Our 2s against their 2s, okay, fine. We got to live with that. That'll determine when our O-line comes out.
All right, Todd. What's the progression been like with all the QBs?
I think all the quarterbacks have done a great job, starting with Talon. Doesn't get a ton of reps, super smart. Think's got a bright future. Dylan has handled it great. Really takes everything we ask of him to do from the meeting room to the field. And then you talk about Shedeur, who from the moment I got here till now, in terms of his drops, working through his progressions, checking the ball down, eliminating sacks, protecting the football. And I'm just talking about that part of it and throwing it. And then in the huddle, the command of the huddle, in and out of it, eliminating anxiety at the line of scrimmage for himself, really has improved. And I'm excited to see him.
I thought they said it was before the play at the line of scrimmage, pre-snap, in the huddle. He wasn't showing anything good. He wasn't showing development. Wait a minute. What'd you say, Coach?
From the moment I got here till now, in terms of his drops, working through his progressions, checking the ball down, eliminating sacks, protecting the football. And
is that not everything that particularly this show here, courtesy of 92.3 The Fan, the Ken Carmen Show with Anthony Lima, shouts out to those guys, but isn't that all of the criticisms that they had for Shedeur Sanders? Isn't that all of those criticisms literally laid out in outline format by Coach Monken as far as what he's seeing Shedeur progress on? I don't know. Maybe coach is just lying. Coach is just bald-faced lying to everybody's face. Bald-faced lying to everybody's face.
I'm just talking about that part of it and throwing it. And then in the huddle, the command of the huddle, in and out of it, eliminating anxiety at the line of scrimmage for himself really has improved. And I'm excited to see him play. They're all going to play in the preseason game. It's just a matter who starts. And then...
Hey, shouts out. Shouts out. Hey, Coach G7, I see you up in here. What did it say? No, Coach G711. Hey, man. What's going on, man? Hey, Coach G, I'm trying to tell you, man. What about the pre-snap and cadence issues? Didn't the coach just lay it out for you? Okay, we can run him back for y'all. We're running back for y'all one time so y'all can hear what the coach said. Let's run him back a little bit.
Sean's obvious. Everything we ask of him to do from the meeting room to the field. And then you talk about Shedeur, who from the moment I got here till now, in terms of his drops, working through his progressions, checking the ball down, eliminating sacks, protecting the football. And I'm just talking about that part of it and throwing it. And then in the huddle, the command of the huddle, in and out of it, eliminating anxiety at the line of scrimmage for himself really has improved. And I'm excited to see him play. They're all going to play in the preseason game. It's just a matter who starts. And then Sean's obviously played a lot of football, been in a number of systems. Early on, he was certainly going to be ahead. And that was to be expected. And I think people fail to realize that he hasn't played a lot of football the last few years. And so he is certainly capable of improving in a lot of aspects of his game, not only operation, but I think he's healthy for the first time, but then his playmaking ability, his ability to work through progressions. So I'm excited to see all of our guys play this preseason.
Now, shouts out to Miss Leanne. How you doing today, Miss Leanne? Miss Leanne B writes, Monken and Mike have both spoken how much Sanders has improved. They just act like they can't hear it. Dead ears. It's falling on dead ears, deaf ears. It's because they don't want to hear it, because they don't want to acknowledge it. There's never been any acknowledgement of the development, of the progress of a Shedeur Sanders. All of the areas that they hated on this kid at, all the areas that they've asked this kid to be better in, or really said that he needs to be better or he couldn't get better in, he's shown vast amounts of improvement. We've seen him this whole camp, instead of dialing up deep ball after deep ball like he likes to do, we've seen him work on intermediate game, playing unscheduled, stepping up in the pocket, not holding the ball forever. All of those things that we wanted to see from him, we've seen happen. Coach G, there are no issues. Shedeur Sanders has checked everything off his list. That's what we're saying, man. We're saying, once again, I told you guys, he's had a solid camp. And solid isn't what people want to hear. People want to see the sexy things. People want to see the sexy throws. People want to see all the highlight reel material, dialing it up deep down the field. No, what I want to see is you getting in your third step, delivering the ball. You getting in that fifth step on the 5-step drop, looking at option one. If it's there, hitting it. If it's not there, getting through all your options and making a smart decision with the football. I want to see you be decisive with the football. All of those things that we ask for a quarterback, especially a young quarterback, one coming into his second year, these are the things that you ask for. Shouts out to Shedeur Sanders, man. He's been doing it.
I don't think he is. I don't think he really is capable of those things. What? I'm not trying to say nasty things. I'm just being honest with everybody. Does anybody else think he is? How many times are we going to be fooled? No one's going to be fooled in this city. Hell, they didn't even trust him to begin with. So they don't think they're not going to be fooled. Todd Monken has to say those things because he's on his show and it's in public. Maybe Todd Monken really does.
Todd Monken can honestly. I mean, what did he say about Deshaun Watson that was really wrong? He just said Deshaun Watson hasn't played a lot of football. He just said Deshaun Watson has room for improvement. He just said, based off of the fact that Deshaun Watson is a veteran, that put him ahead at the beginning of camp. AKA Mary Kay's articles coming out saying that he should be named a starter just because he was the veteran and ahead at that point. All of the narratives and stuff, Coach Monken literally addressed that. So we can act like he's talking to thin air and it's not making sense. I don't understand where you're not picking up what he's putting down.
Didn't even trust him to begin with. So they don't think they're not going to be fooled. Todd Monken has to say those things because he's on his show and it's in public. Maybe Todd Monken really does feel that way. Your coach, coach him up. Maybe that's the case. Got to give him to that point B. All those things that we like to say. I don't think anybody believes that. It's been 6 years. How many years do we have to go before he finds it again? Like sometimes it's just gone. And I think it's gone for him.
Yeah.
And you say the physical ability. Well, I don't know. He threw the ball a few times and the shoulder's starting to bother him again, according to the reports. from OTAs. You say the physical ability, getting in and out. I mean, he has played a lot of football. Has he played a lot of smart football? Does he know what he's doing? Because we found out that story a couple years ago that Bill O'Brien was calling the offense. Guess who's the veteran having trouble getting in and out of the huddle under Kevin Stefanski? And now Todd Monken.
Well, it seems like everybody's having trouble getting in and out of the huddle right now with Todd.
No. It is not everybody having trouble getting in and out of the huddle. I've watched Shedeur Sanders effectively getting in and out of the huddle. We watched him yesterday in padded practice get in and out of the huddle. So because Ken brings up Deshaun Watson as a veteran struggling in it, don't try and add Shedeur Sanders to the loop, because I didn't see that yesterday. And I didn't see Deshaun struggle yesterday at getting in and out of the huddle either. One thing that's killed me about this whole quarterback narrative is that anytime Deshaun Watson plays bad, they try and just say, oh, all the quarterbacks play bad. Shedeur Sanders plays good, no mention. Come on, man.
And I wonder if that's just the pain of a completely new install now that down
maybe
the
it's
road.
Todd Monken's fault. Who knows?
Well, no,
I don't.
But I do think that it's logical. Like think of how many young or new players they have on offense. It's everybody. Who's the veteran on offense? Like that just
Harold Fannin.
That's right. That's the blueprint for a team that's going to have trouble getting in and out of the line of scrimmage. That's and out of the huddle. That's not just a Shedeur thing or just a Deshaun Watson thing. Like Andrew Luck could be here. He might be having trouble with that right now. Like, it just doesn't matter. Like, I just question what the expectation would be at this stage.
You know,
guys, we just finished the installs at the end of last week.
I must tell you, the history with one of the quarterbacks, being Deshaun Watson, plays into my feelings about the quarterback competition. And I think...
Shouts out to you guys, the viewers, man. I see you guys in here spamming. Let's go. Brian Johnson says, Leanne B. writes, those are the most important reps, not saying the other reps aren't. Coach G, the verdict, Shedeur Sanders is officially the real deal, and year 2 in Cleveland is going to be electric. Shouts out to you, man. I appreciate you being up in here. Coach G also says, after a stellar rookie campaign where he proved he belongs in the NFL, the Browns finally have their true franchise quarterback. I love the energy. I love that. Miss Leanne B. writes, I agree. I was only saying that I heard that Sanders had more reps with the first, coincidentally, and so they gave those to Watson that day. Sanders should have the next day with pads, I think. Yes, I believe Shedeur's day is today, and Shedeur's been cooking, man. Shouts out to you guys, and they have been alternating the days, and I do believe that Shedeur was ahead on the reps. If we're being all the way honest, Shedeur was ahead on the reps. Miss Leanne writes, part of their issue is these guys don't know anything about football. Yeah, for sure. They don't. And they don't watch either. They don't try and learn. They don't watch anything to learn. Coach G, he said he silenced the critics with his toughness and poise. Here's why the rest of the league should be terrified of what he's about to do next. Shouts out to you, man. Shouts out to you. Also, Coach G says laser accuracy. Fits the ball into impossibly tight windows on third downs. Masterful field vision, anticipates coverage, rotations like a 10-year veteran. I'm excited to see Shedeur Sanders. Hey, shouts out to Coach G, man. I appreciate you being up in here, man. And I think we all are excited to see what he can do. And I think if you polled the fan base right now, everybody in here, man, if you would like to see Shedeur Sanders be the quarterback this year and see what this young man can do, put a 1 in here. If you would like to see what Deshaun Watson can do and you feel like as a veteran he gets a shot and he should go first, put a 2 in here. Let's poll the chat right now. Put a 1 if you think we should just let Shedeur Sanders rock out good, bad, indifferent this year to see what we have and then proceed in 27 afterwards. Put a 1 in here. If you feel like Deshaun Watson is old because of the money, however you feel, a little bit of the pie as far as he should start the first couple games. If it's bad, then put Shedeur Sanders in. Go ahead and throw a 2 in the chat. I want to see, man. You guys let me know. I'm getting a couple 1s in here. Shouts out Miss Phaedra. How you doing, Miss Phaedra? I appreciate you being up in here. Brian Johnson, I see you up in here as well. You guys keep on rocking out with that, man. Once again, a 1 if you want to see Shedeur Sanders rock out this season. And 2 if you feel like Deshaun Watson should at least get the first crack at it.
That it does with a lot of people. Like when I watch this game on Saturday, I assume he's going to start this game on Saturday. And when I watch this game, I'm not comparing him as much to I have to compare him to Shedeur Sanders to some level. I'm not comparing him as much to Shedeur Sanders as I'm comparing him to the guy that we were supposed to get, that we traded all these picks for and all that stuff again. Because I'm just telling you right now, it's going to take a lot for me to be convinced. And I think a lot of Browns fans are with me on that, going, I ain't going to be fooled again. So it's not just Shador he's competing against on Saturday if he were to start. It's the old Deshaun Watson. Because now we're at the end of the rope. And at one point, there was an MVP candidate. Because at one point, there were 12 other football teams or 13 other football teams that were putting in to see about his possibilities. They know the quarterbacks don't fall off of trees. So that history that we have has to play in to how I watch these QBs. Can't say evaluate. It ain't my job. As best I can, but it's for entertainment purposes only. I can't do it the same way Todd Monken can. But I will tell you, there will be a lot more scrutiny with Deshaun Watson from me than there would be with Shador Sanders. That's not fair.
Hey, Miss Phaedra, you got to chill out. Oh, my goodness. That is funny. Shouts out to Miss Phaedra, James. You have gotten to chill.
I'm just telling you guys the truth. 216-474-0092. Is there going to be the same way with you? Will you see Deshaun Watson differently than what you would see with Shador Sanders? Because, I have to have a little bit more leeway with Shador Sanders. I want him to start. I can only tell you guys the truth about my own emotions. The other guy reminds me of a bad era of lost football for this football team.
The one thing I'll just say, I know you want to get to the phones. I'll just say logically,
empty promises.
If they started Watson, I'd be like,
that's hilarious,
all right,
man.
I don't expect.
That is hilarious, man. That is absolutely hilarious. That's absolutely hilarious.
I mean, he thinks we're a quarterback away. I think a lot of teams are a quarterback away because Houston's competitive. Now, Houston could do some special things this year, but, C.J. Stroud was certainly under the microscope last year by the assembled media. So, if you had C.J. Stroud, you'd have a quarterback that's under the microscope, that you'd be in a hell of a lot better position than what we're in right now. Well, I see where Ryan's coming from on that.
And social media reactions brought to you by Scheiben Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store. Keith and Avon Lake immediately said, if Ryan thinks this is a 10 or 11 win team, why did Andrew Berry not get aggressive with finding a veteran quarterback that can help them win?
Because you feel like you have a good quarterback. You have a veteran quarterback on your roster right now. You tell me a veteran quarterback that was available that comes in and is better than any of the guys we had right now. I'll wait, because we had the whole litany, the whole list. Go ahead, come on. Malik Willis, he's better than Deshaun Watson and Shador Sanders? I'll wait. No, he's not. Kyler Murray, he's better. He's the same height as Dylan Gabriel. Stop it, man. I'm not hearing it. I don't care how good he was. I don't care how good he is. None of it. I don't want Kyler Murray. No. Mac Jones, don't want him. No, absolutely not. Come on, who else? Anthony Richardson? No. I don't want a quarterback that taps out because he's tired. No. Who else? Come on, I'm waiting. There was a few other ones. Brandon Sorsby, come on. Arch Manning, come on. Veterans, who else was available in the veteran market? Come on now, stop it.
Win immediately.
Okay.
So they don't think they're a 10 or 11 win team.
I don't think they're a 10 or 11 win team unless you have Mahomes or Allen. I haven't seen the offensive line play yet. I'm sorry, I can't make that declaration.
Well, let me ask you, even with Joe Flacco, if you thought you were a 10 or 11 win team, then adding just a veteran quarterback, then why wouldn't you go get somebody who?
Family, we have football to be played on Saturday. We're still talking about bringing in somebody else who we could bring in at quarterback that would be a better option, all of this stuff. Why are we not talking about what we're expecting to see from Coach Monken Saturday? What we're expecting to see from whatever quarterback starts Saturday? My goodness, this is crazy. And this is 92.3 The Fan. It's supposed to be the radio home of Cleveland.
Can actually win games.
I think Ryan thinks they're a 10 or 11 win team. I don't think the Browns do, and I really don't think lots of Browns fans
I've seen
do.
A lot of fans say kind of the same thing, that we're.
Is it because it's August and we're less than a month away from the season?
Probably at the afternoon show. I mean, the afternoon show. They've said they think this team can win 7, 8, 9. I've even heard up to 10 when they get really optimistic. Well, if they thought they could do that with Shador Sanders this year,
it's not the hardest schedule in the world.
Yeah, that's part of it.
All right, fine. But again, you appear on other team schedules, and they don't think that you're the hardest.
Oh, they're all
team to
calling the
schedule
Browns
against.
an instant W this year.
Exactly. So as much hope as we have for the teams that we play, you got to remember how they feel about us.
How they feel about us. We worried about how other teams feel about us, man. Stop the cap. Stop the cap, man. Stop the cap. We got to get out of there, man. These guys right here, when you talk about Cleveland media, is absolutely atrocious. When we look at our roster, and we looked at our roster a couple different times today, when we look at the roster, honestly, right now, yes, I believe we can win 8 games. 8 games is my minimum. If we don't win 8 games this season, is a disappointment to me personally. Honestly, when we look at this roster, shouts out to AB, he's been cooking, man. He has been cooking. When we look at what we have in totality right now, especially given, like they alluded to, the schedule we have this year, all of those different factors, this is a team that's primed to do some winning this year. Lima is whining about the Flacco, who went 1-3. Oh my goodness. Sanders went 3-4 in a part of the season with the scrap players and a coach that didn't want him. Hey, Miss Leanne, I appreciate you. Shouts out to you being up in here, too. And honestly, I think when you look back at that, that's a complete indictment on Coach Stefanski as well, because we saw Flacco get traded midseason and then go throw for a ton of yards for the Bengals when he just looked inept and like he needed to be out of the league for the Browns. Shador, 14-3 this season. Dang, quick clips. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. That's what's happening, though. Boy, if that's the case, you know how much Crow we gonna be, man. Oh, we're gonna be shoveling Crow. Shoveling Crow. We might need the plows. Snow plows? Nah. Crow plows. No snow plows. We need Crow plows. Oh my goodness, man. Alright, we at the point of the show, man. This point is my favorite point, man. Let's tap in with you guys. If you guys have any questions, that you want to, get off, or anything you want to say at this point, anything you want me to react to, go ahead, throw it in here now. Or forever hold your peace. But let's go ahead and interact. We can make this last a while and spur some conversation. Let's go ahead and get to it, man. Let's go ahead and get to it. Let me shout out as many people as I can in here. Once again, shout out JB Too Smooth for them super chats today earlier. That boy was cooking. Shouts out JB Too Smooth, man. We appreciate you being up in here. Lady PC, Juan Sosa Gaming. Shouts out to you guys. The Mom Map 23, appreciate you. Miss Phaedra James, appreciate you. Renil Morton. The Mom Map again. I see JB Too Smooth. We got Trust 52 up in here as well. That guy R Jizzle. What's going on, family? I appreciate you being up in here. Big Kev, what's happening? Once again, shout out to JB Too Smooth, man. 2 super chats today, man. You're too kind. I appreciate that. We also got Brian Johnson. Shouts out to Brian Johnson. Big shout out to Brian Johnson being up in here. Lady PC again. And we also have Ivy League Mac. Shouts out to you, Ivy League Mac. Ghost Airborne. Just named Deshaun Watson the starter and move on. The Browns are too worried about Shador Sanders fan backlash. Didn't even see that comment. But shouts out to you, Ghost Airborne. I appreciate you being up in here, and I appreciate your opinion. I don't agree with that at all, but shouts out to you, and I definitely appreciate you being up in here. We've got Clark Virtual Museum. Big shout out to you, man. I appreciate you being up in here. Who else we got? I don't want to miss anybody. MSF. Oh, yeah, man. Yours always mess up. MSKFH. Shouts out to you, man. Munkin just said on his show, Watson hasn't played a lot of football recently, and something about him developing. Yeah, he needs to develop, too. He needs to develop out of them turnovers. Miss Leanne, shouts out to you. Coach G. Coach G711. Shout out to you, man. Who else we got? Miss Phaedra, I think we said shouts out to you. Oh, Gerald, appreciate you being in here. Gerald 8797. What's going on, family? I appreciate you tapping in here as well. Quick Clips, you already know what's going on. Quick Clips, shouts out to you. All right. Miss Leanne writes, absolutely, Flacco cooking elsewhere definitely made Kevin Stefanski look like an accidental coach of the year. Yeah. Zach Jackson was hyping up Carson Beck, saying he was better than any other quarterbacks the Browns have. You know what I'll say to that? You know what my rebuttal to that would be, Brian Johnson? That's why we have the preseason, right? Before that preseason game before the Hall of Fame game, who was talking about Carson Beck being the starter? Nobody. Who was talking about Carson Beck being better than Shedeur Sanders? Nobody. He gets in, he has a great preseason game, Hall of Fame game, shouts out to Carson Beck. And now you have all of these talks about they need to make him the starter. Now he's so good, he's this and that. Zach Jackson obviously bloviating about it. That's why it's important for us to pump the brakes and wait for this preseason, because Shedeur can come out and light it up, and then you know what time it is. Sonia Augustine, salute, brother. Great content as usual. I seen Beavis and Butthead back at it again. Appreciate you being up in here, Miss Augustine. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Yeah, they back at it. Shouts out to Brian Johnson, Miss Sonia Augustine, and Leanne B. Miss Leanne, she writes, Zach is a hater. I don't trust anyone with the athletic. Listen, shouts out to Zach Jackson. Shouts out to 92.3 The Fan. I don't think some of these guys actually watch enough football, or they know what they're looking at. Real simple, chat. You can see every rep of the Cleveland Browns quarterback hating analysis report and don't watch the footage. Can't believe that option unless you were biased. Can't believe that opinion, unless you were biased. You know what it is, man. That's why we're watching throw for throw. That's why we actually had to go to camp this year. We actually had to make sure we were seeing some of these throws and seeing what was going on at practice, because these guys will tell you anything. And if you're just listening to what they're saying, you'll be all over the place, because they're all over the place with what they say. All right, man. At this point here, I'm going to get up out of here. I'll probably tap in with you guys later, man. Appreciate you guys all being in here. If you're in here and you made it this far, go ahead and hit the like button before we get out of here. There's 46 of us in here. Go ahead and smack that like button. Go ahead and tap the hearts before we get up out of here. I appreciate all of you guys. We'll be coming back pretty soon with another video, another live. The next couple of days, I expect today and tomorrow, definitely have some content dropping for you guys, man. We got a lot of things that we're working on, man. So I apologize for not having everything boom, 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 boom. But we're creating a whole bunch of new things, man. We got a whole bunch of new things. We're trying to lock in a new schedule. We got a lot going on right now. The channel is growing very, very fast, man. So I appreciate every single one of you guys, man. Subscribe if you haven't already. Go ahead, hit the like button, man. Thank you all for being in here once again. I appreciate it. We'll tap in with you guys later today. Have a good rest of your day. Tell your family you love them. All those good things. And we'll see you later, man. Each day I wake up and clock in.